Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna go be in the sun.
I'm glad that was.
That box was right in the shot.
I'm glad that's what we started out.
We have started way worse.
I don't know. Welcome back, adventurers.
Yay, pissing in the snow. This episode brought to you by lemon flavored snow.
Dang, lemon flavored snow.
Don't worry, it's lemon.
Ooh, a kitty. Dang, a kitty.
That's their catchphrase.
Oh no.
Welcome back, adventurers. Please don't mind the players.
You have fun.
He's going to do it.
It's snowing.
Draw a picture.
Write your name. Write my name. Dungeon Daddy.
So, back at the Grippli village of Kakarikik, Yotrola, excuse me, Yotrola has just looked at you and asked, so what do we do?
We just look at each other like...
She bathes for all of you just stand.
Well, my initial gut reaction is we need to disperse that Boggart camp with all those captives and add them to the your forces. However,
Perhaps to reduce the amount of danger upon your people.
that's the most immediate danger.
We, for lack of a better term, are bait. And draw them into an ambush where your rangers wait safely in the trees.
It's not a bad idea.
I can do that.
She says, there is a clearing just on the outside of our village. Between us and the Boggart encampment. We can set up an ambush there. I can give you 50 Grippli strong archers, she says, and several more on foot if you need them.
It might help your archers to have an accurate count of how many Boggards we would actually be facing. Because right now we just have a very rough estimate. Do you like roughly guess how many
58 and a half.
how many
At least.
Boggards there were? I don't remember what it was that he saw. It was there. I'm talking to the DM.
It was over 50.
It was over 50.
Yeah.
Okay.
You didn't say no.
But if we can guide them in there, clear out that camp, that would give us more breathing room to wait for Manzarek to get back.
Does the squad of 50, does that leave you completely unguarded here?
She says, it would be bare bones.
This is why we need more. I'm sorry, Green Speaker. We need all the Grippli to work together. Is there any way you can send messengers to the remaining villages for a conference?
There's one.
As far as we know. For a conference. We need to work together.
My question is, do we have time? They've already attacked us once. We're uncertain when they'll attack again. Hitting them hard where they least expect it may be in our benefit. I can send a message, but I think waiting for a reply in a conference may be ill-advised.
One of both. Send a messenger while we disperse this encampment.
We can do that. My question, though, is how are 3 humans going to gain the attention of an entire Boggart encampment?
We are very annoying.
I believe you.
You speak the truth.
Oh, speak the true.
What if we ambush one of their patrols?
I was thinking more of a direct approach.
Well, if we ambush one of the patrols, leave one to go back and tell the rest of the group about it.
I think that gives them too much time.
It would definitely get their attention.
It would fire.
Great minds think alike.
Can we
We
guarantee the
smoke 'em
safety
out.
of the Grippli within?
Yeah, I know where they're at.
Okay. Oh, that's good. We can get their attention. We'll draw them into the clearing. Your archers will make quick work of them. That will buy us time to meet with the other village.
They're not like super fast, are they?
The Bogard?
It's their home turf, so
Well, you can roll me knowledge nature on Bogard if you like. Then you have no idea.
I was asking.
I can do this.
I was asking.
You ask her?
Yeah, the green suit.
She says their large size gives them the ability to move as fast as any other medium-sized creature.
Nat 20.
On?
Knowledge nature.
Why do you know so much about the swamp?
So
Late night conversation.
you sit there and you ponder for a moment, and you're like, I did take a Bogard class in college.
I'm really just thinking of the fact that
We
Manzarek
dissected
was in
him.
front of his door when he was butt naked that one time.
That's why you know this. Everything you know
Was on his butt.
was on his frog cheeks.
Wait, no.
I was fully clothed.
He was
At first.
Always.
You're a druid. You're never always closed. So you think of when you fought them on the ship, right? You have an understanding of enemies just from innate combat, right? Knowledge. And the Bogard, firstly, aren't incredibly fast on their feet, but they are quick swimmers and they do have a long jump. If they are given the opportunity in an open area, they can jump much farther than they can run in a single bound, as if they had a special ability.
I relay this. That probably not with pure running, but they can swim faster, and that leap definitely gives them advantage on chasing.
This clearing about how far from, and I described whereabouts that camp is. They probably know where it's at with their scouts. How far away from the entrance of the Bogard camp?
Maybe 200 yards. It's not far outside the encampment,
That work?
but far enough that we can hide our forces without drawing attention.
Perfect.
It won't take them long to get reinforcements, though. I warn you.
So we have to strike quickly.
And fiercely.
Show no mercy.
That we can do. We Grippli have not often gone on the offensive against the Bogard, choosing the trees and our own security within the village as a defensive.
That might be the only reason this would have a chance of working, because it would not be expected.
Very well.
The Grippli shall be slaves no more. Shall we do this thing?
Let us.
Yes. Go kill us some Bogards.
Allow me to get my forces ready. They will follow after you. You will lead them into it, and you think you can clear that distance before they catch you.
I don't have to be that close.
Very well, she says.
By the way, any
Flinch
chance
400 feet?
No.
Plus 20 feet per
I
level.
still don't trust you. They untie.
Don't describe it. You need those.
Murder.
And we get our things back.
Oh yeah, you get all the things back. Bogard encampment.
So to clarify, this is the direction he came from.
Mm-hmm.
We're not coming from this direction, right? We're coming from the other
You're
one.
still coming from that direction.
Oh, okay.
Because the Bogart encampment was between you and the village, and he said he went to the far side and came in.
So while everything's going on, I come up next to Perry. I kind of lean over and says, "What do you have in mind to get my attention?"
So there's this really cool spell I've been practicing. I haven't actually cast it yet, but in theory, I probably exactly 300 yards would be where I can cause a big eruption of fire. You might have heard it's called a fireball.
I have heard of it. Many a spell user.
How far?
It's a range of
400
long.
feet plus 40 feet per level.
And the
You
spell
can
book-
snipe that.
I can snipe a fireball.
Oh yeah.
your father just has circled Perry. Be careful.
I had to like scratch the code. Like, are you sure? Agree to these terms, but are you really sure?
It's 3-page, even though it only takes 3 pages.
So you're gonna light a fire in front of the encampment or in front of the clearing?
I'm gonna catch as many of them as I can.
Okay.
So to clarify, you said it was 200 yards,
Yes.
which is 600 feet.
Yes.
And how many?
So that gives you a wild head start.
How are we gonna give them a direction to chase after?
Cacophonous noise.
It's not even about
I was-
7 people.
Oh no!
6 maybe.
Quick
but, yeah,
run!
Oh, right. I'm sorry.
I did dip
I was
one
gonna
level.
say I could just run them back.
Okay.
I could meet them about halfway.
Maybe a little less than half.
Yeah. Give him.
100
Get
feet
him about 50 yards. You can cover 50 yards.
before they can
Leading
leave.
them. Lead them right in.
I think you guys know, but I got my running shoes on.
You're not wearing any shoes.
Oh.
Oh.
That's what he means.
Okay. You got
Okay.
your boots of haste.
No, but
Just
they're my boots of running. They're not made for walking.
That's just what they'll do.
I'm gonna
No,
strap on my
that's
boots.
not what they do.
My boots of butt kicking.
Shout out.
It allows you to jump 4 feet in the air, just high enough to kick people in the butt.
Some of them you don't even have to, right? Is Eric?
I wasn't paying attention. What?
He said boots that allow you to jump 4 feet in the air so you can hit people in the butt.
I would love that.
That'd go over your head.
Nothing goes over my head. My reflexes are too fast. I'm sorry.
So my question is, how are you gonna see to hit that?
I can see clearly now. The rain is gone.
I can
I
see all
see
the
what you have to
obstacles
put up with.
in my way.
Just now? It's been like a decade, my guy.
Right, so we need to make any preparations while the Bogarts are guarding out the bar and the Grippli are getting together.
I mean, we just head there. We got this. Wing it.
Yeah, we're basically just waiting around.
It would be within an hour that they are able to gather their forces. Her spreading the word as her guard go out and gather up a force to head in to follow you to where you need to go. It's almost eerie how silently they move behind you, this entire Grippli force, through the trees, through the underbrush, as the foot soldiers hide in brush behind trees, and the archers completely fill the canopy in a massive circle around this open area as best they can. They knock their arrows looking into the clearing. They would tell you that they don't need to necessarily be in the center of the clearing, but if you can run and gain cover in the tree line, the more in the center they are, the better.
Who's their leading the group?
They're like, Captain?
Yes.
Their captain. I'm about to tell you their captain's name.
And it's so amazing and frog-like. It'll be
Mako.
Poppers.
That's actually kind of cool.
Zupan.
Zupan. Okay, so I would hide in the trees with Zupan. First off, where are you going to be positioned at to leave the boggards, decoy them in?
If from the clearing they're 200 yards away, I can be about 50, 70 yards away.
Okay, because this is the way I see it in 3 stages. First stage, fireball, cacophonous noise to stir them up.
So even more so, haunted fey aspect, levitate in the air, and then fireball.
Second phase, once they get close, you guide them into the clearing.
Who are
Third phase, I run into the center of the clearing to join with you, give them even more of a focus. Fourth phase, the Grippli let loose. What do you think?
As long as they don't like think about this ahead of time and go attack the main city while we're doing this, that's great.
They would have no reason to. They would have no reason to, because we're the ones.
Like,
Yeah, I am the one who
hopefully they're
knows.
not already doing that right now, while we have their main forces away from the city. That's just the
Anywho.
intrusive thoughts that I'm currently thinking of.
You metagaming.
No,
Stop looking at the
I'm
GM.
scared.
You know the GM has your best
I'm
interest in
scared.
mind.
No, he doesn't.
No.
Yeah, it's his best interest.
Okay.
All right. So you go about 50 yards out from the clearing. I cast Haunted Fey aspect of on myself.
Oh, before you leave, I have you translate for me for Zupan.
The plan.
Yes. And I tell him I will run out. When they get close, I'll raise my hand and lower it down.
Do your banner.
Probably just banner, whatever. But that's when they're supposed to go. I look at him.
When
and
you
say,
see him take the flag and slam it down, that's when. Not him. Don't shoot him.
Shoot him. Got it.
Is it good? Good? Yeah. Ah. Get him psyched up.
Zupan's like, what is he saying?
I don't. That's a different language. I don't know.
He looks at you.
Okay.
Scraping frog.
That's more accurate.
Oh
Frog
man.
is pissed.
Alright, so you're
I
gonna
think.
Haunted Fey aspect. I'll levitate into the air. Like 40 feet
In the air?
in the air.
Okay.
So how
That would also give you a bird's eye view of the entire
Exactly.
encampment.
That's the plan.
So
What would be a good boggart insult?
Frick, I don't know. I don't even speak the language.
Neither do you.
I don't.
What did you say?
don't think I don't
use,
either.
You could ask Zupan.
What's a good boggart insult?
I don't speak Barter.
Alright.
Your best interest.
Cool. So in Ghost Sound, I
He does
scream-
give you a term that the Grippli call the Bogard.
And it is.
Voltark.
Okay. So using Ghost Sound to amplify my voice. The Voltark.
Arc. Voltark.
Voltark! Over here! And I cast Fireball at one of the things. Can I see the main tent from where I'm at? And is it in range?
you should shoot it.
Oh yeah, this main tent is very in range. It is closer to you than anything.
Then I, right there.
Wonderful.
Yeah. And it does the damage. And will catch anything on fire. I'm gonna get my magic dice here.
I feel like this is gonna be a race of the forest burning down.
We've done this in Don't Starve.
Yeah.
Intentional.
Yeah, I was like, if I set this tree on fire, it'll take care of these spiders.
And everything.
Jacob, plug up. Jacob, I need your help.
Alright, so that is 23 points of exploding fire damage in a 20-foot radius. Up centered on that. Do we have your radii? Radial?
Oh, I can see where it goes.
Alright, cool,
Yeah.
cool.
So you rise into the air. your visage shifts and changes into this haunting form.
Oh, it's got protective force though.
Does it? As you chant, tone, and point, the Boggart all turn and look at you. They pause in awe of like, what is that? As you and fire this little orange orb, it zips through the air, striking into the back of the tent, and a massive cacophonous explosion echoes out as several of them shield themselves, fire engulfing the entire area. The only Boggart that would really be of concern is the one on the tower, but roll me either a performance or an intimidation check. And I will give you a +10 because of all the things y'all have planned.
It's the same. 16, 18, 28.
With a 28, he drops his bow and arrow as he shields himself. Others do the same as they cower down from this massive explosion. You see them all turn and look up wide-eyed at the fire and then up at you as they pause, right? You stay levitated in the air. Do you do anything in this moment where they're like, whoa, whoa,
I
whoa?
laugh maniacally.
You see from the group, from this cluster of terrified and confused Boggart, one Boggart makes her way through all of this. She has a headdress that is a series of leather straps tied to bones. So it drops down about her shoulders and back. And she carries with her a staff with a Grippli skull on the top of it, lashed down. As she steps forward looking at everything, she begins screaming in Boggart. The rest of them look to her, kind of confused in this moment, and you can tell they are about to get their crap together. You have one round to either stay up there and continue doing your jam, do something else, or whatever you want.
I will
Cast a second fireball.
prepare a second fireball
Okay.
for when they are in a group heading this way.
She gives this command and points, right? As you see them reach, gathering up their weapons, their armor, it takes another round, another 6 seconds for them to get their crap together. As they all immediately turn and in force begin to funnel towards you, and suddenly a volley of arrows comes at you. As all of the Boggart with bows and arrows, and especially these two, there's a third, I think, that is within range. Where are you at, you beautiful Boggart bitch? There he is.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Big booty bugger.
Bopping bongos and banging Boggarts. That's the next episode. No. I will say it is not a full-on volley. It is 3 shots, so I'm going to roll for that instead of just doing troop damage to you.
Appreciate it.
Unfortunate.
It's fine.
You heard it here first. It is unfortunate. Does a 17 hit you? Does a lower number hit you?
No. An action
Does a much higher number hit you? Does a 20 hit you?
means.
Okay, that does hit then.
But he has the high ground.
As you are up there, your hair flowing out, your robes naturally shifting in the wind in this unnatural way, as arrows, and you see one coming right towards you, as you're like, that ain't gonna hit, that ain't gonna hit, whoa! And it just like shoots past you, and you're like, that would've hit, that would've hit, that would've hit.
Oh, well, I have a +2 against range. I forgot about that.
That's cute.
Because of the wind thing.
Sucks, doesn't it?
Sucks to suck.
I actually just remembered that.
As they begin to rush you.
Are they in a conglomerate?
Oh, your fireball.
Within...
As good as it's gonna get.
Alright, then we do that thing.
Okay.
They can roll a reflex.
The question is, do they see it coming?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
I got it.
They have a frog's eye view of it.
I don't understand.
That's not very good.
It's a 9 save.
Nope. That'd be
No.
18 points of fire damage.
As you shoot another orb, it slams into the center of them, exploding out. You see several of them flying off their feet, some of them throwing their hands up. As it washes over, she continues to croak out orders as it doesn't slow them down.
And I
They just tank it and keep coming.
I fall and then I head toward tree line.
They begin to chase after you.
Are you like hiding in the brush?
Oh God, no.
Okay.
You're just standing at the mouth of the opening, and you're just like, where in the opening are you?
I'm 50 yards from the opening.
Okay, so you're not in the clearing. All right, and where'd you say you were?
I'm hiding with Zupan
Okay,
because I'm gonna run out as soon as he gets into the clearing.
all right. In a full round, how far can you run?
Not difficult terrain.
Not difficult terrain, but if you're avoiding difficult terrain, then it's not going to be in a straight line. 50 feet?
Let's see. Swamp Stride.
25. I move that normally almost.
One of the reasons I didn't volunteer to do running.
That's why I'm not out there where he is.
That's why I am.
So as you take off running, right, you're like, this is a great idea. They have Swamp Stride, which means they can travel in more of a straight line than you can without difficult terrain. They also have the Leap ability, allowing them to cover great distances in that time. You begin to realize, oh, I didn't have as good of a head start as I thought I would. You still think you might make it, but it is much closer than you anticipated.
Can you just fart your way through? Just turn to it.
Nylon cat.
As you begin running and you see Ragnar standing just...
You might want to run. There's a lot of them.
Oh, I will.
Okay. That's it.
You say that in passing?
Yep.
You see the horde rushing towards you.
Then I start to run.
With
Then I
him?
start to run.
Yeah, but my movement speed if I'm dodging terrain's 80.
80? You good.
He
You
picks
good.
me up. Like, all right, let's go, Lily.
If I have to, I will.
If you pass me, then please do.
Well, I would. If I was to pass Perry, I would pick them up and break them along with.
That's hilarious.
How much would that slow you down?
None. You weigh like a wet noodle.
At least 3.
3 wet noodles? That's a lot of water getting blown at you, then.
So 45 pounds.
You're like 2 main lyrics.
1.5 minutes.
1.5 too much.
Remember you played
Actually,
Patty?
go check. Yeah,
So-
1.5 minutes.
So we were talking one day in class, and a student just looked at us and was like, "Yeah, it weighs about like 1 newborn baby's worth." And I'm like, "Who measures in that?" And they're like, "Yeah, that's about like 5 pots of pasta." I was like, "How do you know that conversion?"
Americans will do anything to keep from measuring.
I do remember us talking about this AC unit, and it told how quiet it was, and I was like, I don't know how to quantify that. And you're like, it's 60 times quieter than a whistle blowing. And I was like, what? That doesn't help me.
Blow a whistle. Half it by 60th.
Half it by 6.
Half it by 60th.
It's like comparing toilets. This one flushes 9.
Mathematics
billiards
every
balls, but
mathematics
this
I
one-
ever learned just hopped out of my head.
Did
Yeah,
you
but
understand what I meant?
I also know
No.
what
You
fluid
understood
looks
what
like.
he meant.
Did you understand what you meant?
Yeah. I
Uh,
also said
I've
it.
seen 550 gallons of water a minute flow through a fire hydrant. That's scary amounts of water.
How much is
gallon
it?
drums
Can you
going through a
quantify how
fire
much that
hydrant?
is?
550 gallons per minute of water going through a fire.
Imagine people throwing a gallon of milk at you every minute.
That's not
550 of them
much.
At you every minute.
Okay, first of all, 1 every
You
minute.
all run to the tree line. As you do, you slide to a stop as you see the Boggard army begin to run through here. They are clearing through the difficult terrain, moving past the trees, and leaping and bounding towards you. As you all kind of come to a stop looking at them, You all kind of take a moment to be like, okay, now, anytime you're ready, right now would be cool.
I come barreling out of the tree line with the staff in the air. Come to a stop next to Perry, and as soon as they get within, say, 40 feet,
Are you gonna let me that close?
yes, I slam on the ground. Hold on, what's bow shot?
Like 200, 400.
50 feet.
Wow. 200 feet.
No.
Take it or leave it.
I mean, yeah.
If people stop and aim their arrows at us, I'll slam it on the ground. But if they're just rushing us, I'll wait until they get within 50 feet.
Yeah, you don't want to be too far back.
I mean, kind of.
All right.
This is blowing.
I'm cold and I have a jacket on.
This is blowing directly on my back.
You run out, banner extended. As this army begins to barrel down towards you, you slide to a stop next to Perry. As you lower it, you see a wall of arrows appear from the tree line, just manifesting. As it goes overhead, the boggards slide to a stop and immediately start to disperse and scatter as arrows begin to batter and shoot through their numbers. In that first volley, you see them trying to gather themselves, several of them wounded and injured. The Grippli begin to knock another arrow as they turn, kind of gathering their forces, and you see that same shaman walk up behind all of them. She gives a croak of command as she points forward. They immediately start to rush forward again as a second volley shoots out. With a wave of her hand, you see a wall of air knock the arrows to either side, allowing several of them to funnel forward. And they begin to rush towards you. 3, I will need you to roll for initiative.
Hey, Rex. I feel like we got better off.
Yeah, you did. Alright, let's try this
I thought we were in a clearing. This thing is not
now.
better.
Well, it might matter. 29.
Oh, yeah.
The magic user.
Wait. You got a nat 20 and got 29?
Damon.
13.
I rolled a 19. 30.
It's fine. I'll forgive you.
Wait a minute, hang on. Let me make sure I'm leaving the right number. I lied. 28.
The army begins to barrel towards you, leaping and bounding as the 3 of you stand at the ready. It is all 3 of yours first turn. What do you do?
They're 50 feet away,
Yes.
and it's a troop.
Yes, it's a troop. So instead of placing it on the battlefield where they are, let's just imagine they're kind of everywhere. In one round, you can get to them
That
and
is the
attack. Sure. Yeah, a lot of that.
More than one?
What would you approximate the numbers to be just at a glance?
At a glance, I did say when you saw them in camp, it was 5 troops worth. It seems like there's more now.
But now less than that, because we killed a lot.
Less than the more that was there, but more than what was when you first saw them.
I got you. So 6.
Must be too late.
Ragnar, what do you do?
There's too many to go into.
But Rachel's a very
Shaman.
powerful speaker.
Can I
I
get to the
charge.
shaman without being attacked?
It is physically impossible without some sort of teleportation.
Just teleport. How far away did you say the shaman is?
Yeah, that's right there.
Well over 300 feet.
The good news is I can get to her in one turn. Bad news is I may not last that one turn.
In difficult terrain.
The good news is I can get to her in 2 turns.
I will also say that when you rush into that area, into combat in a troop, your line of sight is limited to 20 feet, and your perception check is down by 10.
So it seems like there's
So
hundreds
even
of-
if you ran into that trying to find her,
But it seems like there's hundreds of them.
Little over 100, it would seem.
Yeah, it's not what we got.
I think this is.
Do it in or hold reaction.
What does your rage do?
What is rage?
Oh,
Ragnar
you
says
know what
this
he
is-
would say.
Ragnar says this is not. I'm gonna hold my action to see what Harry's going to do. Oh, he runs in.
No.
Perry.
I cast spontaneous immolation.
Okay. You just catch on fire?
Yeah. Whoever's like between us and the shaman, I'm going at that angle right here.
Okay.
They do get a fortitude.
Okay. How much damage you do?
Not as much.
How far does it go?
It can go 150 feet.
Okay, yeah, that'll get to him.
It does 10 points of fire damage.
And it's an AoE?
It's a no, it's not. But so that's not.
Not really. You set one on fire.
But it catches fire, and each round it catches more stuff on fire.
In a swamp.
The target.
Okay, that one guy.
And he catches the next round. He catches
Which
another
mechanically
guy,
does.
and catches another guy.
Sure.
Yeah, exactly.
When you're
In
god
this
sized
case-
to the ants, it won't matter.
In this case, the ants can smack back.
So, question for future play: if something attacks everything in a say a straight line, that count?
Mechanically, no.
But it's not one target. It's an area
Then yes.
of 120-foot line.
Yeah, if it hits. If it says an area, not
an area.
not just it
Okay.
has to be an AoE, regardless of cone, circle, or line.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. Cool. So you ha!
And then I duck down.
Okay.
Still.
Damon.
Like charge. I'm committed to this.
Wow, you're gonna die. Unless it just starts like
30 or 20.
To the first 20.
Okay. So you rush in, you are in combat with them. As you begin to rush forward, suddenly past both of you, Grippli pass all of you, and they follow Damon's charge into battle. You are in the combat. What do you do?
I attack.
You may,
Is he leading a troop?
effectively.
Nice. Troop. That's really.
30.
30? That will strike your opponent.
I don't think it's that hard.
Well, I rolled good, so I'm not gonna.
One better than
I mean, they do have AC, even as a troop.
Barely any.
Because there's just so many targets.
Target-rich environment.
Look at all these things I can murder.
I asked him.
I
Nice.
did 14 points of damage.
Delicious.
That's it.
I can do 2 attacks, but I have to do it.
Rushing in, you hit a boggart with your shield, sending him over. You elbow one in the face as you slit one in half. One swings down at you with his club, and you knock it away as suddenly Grippli run to your side, following your charge, and the waves of toad-like creatures and frog-like creatures clash. The the boggart outnumber the Grippli on the ground, but not the Grippli in total, as arrows continue to shoot down at the boggart on the ground. That wall of air keeps it dispersed from shooting too far forward, but is unable to help the front line as they crash into each other. Damon. You take 10 points of damage as you rush into the fray, clubs striking against your shoulder, chest, and legs. The boggards begin to push into you, and it's only a matter of time before they get to Perry and Ragnar standing in the back. Top of the round, Ragnar.
I'm going to charge in.
Okay.
Power back. 18.
18 will strike your opponents. Delicious. Okay. Brandishing your axe, you rush in, sliding to a stop, you swing, and just like a farmer cutting down a swath of wheat with a sickle, you just cut into this front line, knocking several back and sending a pulse of negative energy out as you parry.
So they're like close to me.
Oh yeah.
Like I'm in danger.
Next round.
Alright.
Not this round.
So I'll take a 5-foot step forward and then shoot a line of electricity 120 feet straight ahead.
Holy
Great.
crap!
And it will hit every area.
Roll for damage.
Yeah.
Hard.
They get reflex, yeah.
They do get a reflex.
And because they're not
Okay.
wearing metal, they don't take that negative.
But they are impressed.
I don't think it's anything.
Nice.
Are you sure they'll like get 1.5 times the first? That's it. So you don't say yes.
Say yes.
No, don't say yes, because I don't want that to happen to us.
There's sorcerers that they can do that.
26 points of electricity to 120 feet per feet.
You chant in tone, you point as your hair begins to rise. The smell of ozone gathers around you, and just like a firebender in Avatar, you just it crackles in a boom, and you see them part as the lightning bolt scatters them in a straight line.
And it had to at least half.
Damon. Your turn.
I'm going to moving towards the shaman.
With only a vague idea where she is.
Yeah, basically.
And it
So
is difficult
last,
to
last known location. I
it's difficult terrain.
yeah, so I'm gonna do 10.
Okay.
That one.
Wonderful. You kind of lose yourself in the fray, and you're just kind of unable to get a bearing on where you're going. As a boggart slams into you, a Grippli is cut in half in front of you, and you're just kind of looking to either side. Suddenly, you take 8 points of damage. Ragnar 7. As they begin to swarm and stab into you, croaking and roaring in response. As this happens and you begin fighting, the Grippli suddenly stop and you see your line kind of falter. As they look up and you see massive shadows wash over the battlefield. As you see 6 Quetzalcoatlus fly over the battlefield and begin to barrel towards the trees.
Did I mention that there
The
was such a
archers
difference?
look up and change fighting the army that you're in the middle of and begin shooting up at the Quetzalcoatlus that are flying into the fray of the trees, landing into the canopy and snapping at the archers.
Are those individual targets?
They are individual targets. That depends on if you want to get their attention or not.
Maybe, yeah.
Maybe it's maybe.
Compel hostility. Attacks the nearest creature. Hello, Ryder.
Oh, thanks for the idea.
Ragnar.
I will also continue moving forward, slashing and hacking and destroying and attacking with power.
How far can you move? And normally?
40.
40? So... You're in difficult terrain.
So 14 to attack.
14 will hit.
29.
Delicious.
Oh, day.
rush up, swinging into them as you begin to wade into the muck and marsh. They're jumping and moving freely through it. One of them tries to jump away from you, and you grab him by his leg, pulling him down, and you just cleave him in half. Another one jumps on your back as you grab him and throw him on top of the other one and do the same thing. They begin trying to like dogpile you as you see Ragnar just moving forward like ah, and they're just hanging off of him. Blood, viscera, and frog guts everywhere.
Golly, it's just
Like
Lord of
an
the Rings.
onslaught.
Oh my gosh.
Like 3 guys hold on to him.
Was it Tormund? Is that his name on Game of Thrones?
Yeah.
Redhead? Where he's got the arrows in him and he's just fighting. That's kind of what you're doing. Perry,
I'm scared.
Arrows on me?
Barbarians are scary
you have frogs on you.
Not the frogs. Anything but the
Barbarians is
frogs.
what you said.
Army of bombs.
Traded
As
with barbarians.
Oh, that's scary. How far away are the Quetzalcoatlus?
Frog walker.
They're in the tree line probably 80 feet from you.
Fireball, fireball. I would like the Grippli to get refocused on the main priority here. So I'm gonna try to set one on fire.
One of the Quetzalcoatlus? Okay.
He needs a
Oh, no.
fortitude at first.
You're like, oh, did I mention they have pterodactyls?
That's not it.
Yeah.
We mentioned they have machine guns and
Bazookas.
Helicopters.
playing Ark
mowing people down.
Play Ark.
I'm gonna find some.
That's what I keep thinking. Those things are big and slow.
Alright, you want a what from it?
First a fortitude.
Oof. That don't count. Well, no. Okay.
Alright, so it takes 9 points of fire damage and catches on fire.
Sure. Any other rolls it needs to make? Wonderful. You point up at one of the Quetzalcoatlus. Its back catches on fire, and I'm sorry to any pterosaur fans out there that's like, that's not how you say that. I'm doing my best. It bursts into flames as you see its massive beak open up, and it cries out in pain, flying away from the tree line, just trying to put itself out.
You can try to get
On its turn. Damon.
I need to reorient myself. Can I do a survival check on that, or what? Would you give me a check in?
I mean, it's 2024.
To try and move to where I last saw the shaman. That's my goal until I see something.
I mean, you have cardinal directions.
Okay.
You know that she's that way.
I move 10 more points in that direction.
10 more points.
10 more points.
That's what he said.
If every foot was a point.
Yeah, 26.
26.
And 8 points damage.
Delicious. That ain't right.
No, if it kills him, it's right.
Okay, there we go. As you begin wading forward, slamming a boggart with your shield, sending it flipping backwards, stabbing another through the chest. One of them swings its club at you. You cleave it clean from his hand as the tip of your blade cuts into his vocal sac. He holds it as he begins to bleed out, dropping to his knees and hitting the ground. Damon, you take 8 more points of damage. Ragnar, you take 2. Suddenly the line is overcome, and Perry takes 6 points of damage. As one of the boggards rushes up to you and hits you, now that you are inside the troop, you will need to make concentration checks for your spells.
Or die.
Just levitate him
So they can be shot down?
Do it. Do it. Ragnar.
21 feet forward.
What?
Moving forward.
Oh, okay.
up. Is that what you said?
Ooh! Almost critted. I rolled an 18. $17 damage.
Delicious.
What is going on? Hey, that was drunk.
I rolled a 1 on my
Coming to a stop, you see that there is a massive boulder in front of you. Cool thing, there are no boggards on it. So if you begin to scale it, you are only slowed by how fast you can climb it.
How tall is it?
Massively tall.
15 feet.
Oh,
That's only like 45. Yeah.
You begin moving through the boggart, checking one with the shaft of your axe, sending the blade cutting through several more as blood spatters everywhere, and you have this odd nostalgic feeling. You feel at home here. This is right.
All the blood and viscera.
Perry.
Comforting. I'm gonna levitate to the tree here.
You fly out as several of them begin to swing at you, one of them leaping up but missing you barely. As you get out of the fray, no longer needing to make concentration checks, but possibly gaining the attention of pterosaurs.
Sure. So, having an idea of what their goal is, like, this may not work, but I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna cast Gusting Sphere.
Okay.
And what this does is a swirling ball of wind rolls in that direction that I point, and hurling those it strikes with great force. And it's an area of severe wind that rolls and moves 30 feet per round. And it can bull rush and push things out of the way. And the area that's in takes 1d6 points of non-lethal bludgeoning damage.
It would get here.
That's fine, but it goes each round.
Yeah. So, here's your win.
With an attempt to clear the path for my companions.
I imagine you put it on the ground and move it forward.
Yeah.
How much damage does it do?
1d6 non-lethal. A force. So
I'll say in this kind of environment that'll count. Gimme.
I was just gonna do it for the battlefield effect, but 4.
Okay. You begin to move the gust of air as it starts to knock Bogard left and right. Damon.
I'm going to stop and make 2 attacks. So my first attack.
Delicious.
I couldn't see it when it landed, so I have to roll again.
Another nat 1.
Yeah.
You on the struggle bus, my guy.
I had 2 nat 20s earlier.
Yeah, good for you. You in the muck. Okay.
11 doesn't hit?
Really not. Womp womp.
Very
We need that.
Womp womp.
You suddenly hear this terrifying croak echo out, and several of the Boggards suddenly stop. The Grippli kind of back up and begin to reform their ranks around you guys, not pushing past you because they are seeing you as their line, right? They stop as the Boggard begin to shift, moving back and giving this kind of no man's land of dead Boggard and Grippli. They stop as you see them looking out over all of you. You see this Boggard making his way towards you.
My knowledge of tribal battles tells me this is a challenge.
Is that what it tells you?
Winner take all.
But what is it?
I only got a 2 and a 4.
It is an actual thing in engine combat. Like, they weren't at it for like hours and hours. There's like a 30-minute bash, you pull back rest. 30-minute bash, pull back rest.
As you do that, this Boggard steps forward. He is wearing studded leather armor, and it looks patched together of smaller creatures than himself over his entire body. He carries 2 vicious hand axes that looks like they're made of obsidian and some kind of twisted black root. This Boggard has that kind of off grayish green skin, but one of his bulbous eyes on the top of his head and his entire right side of his face are completely smooth in a white scar that extends from the front of his face all the way to the back of his head, with a leather strap around his neck that holds what looks to be a mummified Grippli arm. He steps forward looking at all of you. May I ask who you are? The Boggards begin to and the Grippli hold their position, ready to charge an attack at any given moment. Those that defile the Boggart army.
You're on the stone.
These are not your kin. These are not your people.
I step forward, set my sword in the ground in front of me. Like, you are allied with our enemies. I am Damon of the humans. I come to avenge my city.
Blackberry
That's not becoming a thing.
Let's use ghost.
And what city would that be?
Remport.
I have never heard of such a city.
The Black Blood has.
Nor have I heard of black blood. But I will make it my life's mission to find it and burn it to the ground.
Yeah.
No, please.
City.
Now, I command you all to kneel before our high priest. In the back, you see a Boggard. He actually steps up onto this rock, looking down at all of you. The Boggard that is addressing you is here. This Boggard steps on top of the rock, looking down at all of you. He is corpulent, a massive gut hanging down with a vocal sac that touches his chin, or touches his chest. He has thick arms and powerful fingers that grip a staff as he steps on top of this rock. He is wearing those same kind of terrible fetishes around his neck that the priestess had on her head, except you begin to recognize several of those skulls belonging to Grippli. As he steps on top of this looking down at you, he raises his staff and all the Boggards stop their croaking. The area is set in silence as he begins to chant. Moo, moo, go. This croak emitting from him much louder than what you would expect from one single creature, and it begins to echo through the Boggards low at first. Moo, moo, go. And then louder. Moo, moo, go. Moo, moo, go. They begin to slam their staves on the ground, hitting their armor with their clubs. Moo, moo, go. Moo, moo, go. You hear this flapping noise as this creature flies in amongst their ranks, landing in the middle of all of them. Of bulbous body and bizarre shape, this gigantic toad-like beast combines the most disturbing traits of dragon and amphibian. Reptilian wings unfurl from its leaking corpulence, its frame heaped with rolls of corded muscle and moist frog fat. 3 buckler-sized yellow eyes protrude above a wide, drooling maw lined with teeth the size of daggers. From this cavernous hollow echoing with deep croaking belches darts a thick tongue the color of an angry bruise, darting forth to greedy snatch up flies, birds, and anything else that comes too near it. Move, move, go! They stop. It lands raising up looking at all of you. opening its mouth and releasing a tremendous croak that blurs the air and causes all of you to cover your ears and buckle down. And we will pick it up there next time. Thank you very much for joining us, adventurers. Remember that this has been a good day to die.